Hey everyone, welcome to my Fluid Art channel and thank you so much for being here. My name is Traciscerri. I'm a fluid artist based in Johannesburg, South Africa. And today I want to show you how I mix my paints, specifically for the bloom technique, Shelly Art bloom technique, but using only local South African products from Bastion Paint. They've recently launched a Cell Activator, which is pretty remarkable. And a few of you have reached out to me. How do I mix my paints? What do I do? What are the ratios? So I need to mix paints anyway. I figured let's just do it together. So if you're familiar with the bloom technique, you'll know that there are three components: the base coat, which is your pillow, the colors, and then your cell activator is on the very top. So let's start with the pillow. I happen to need more white pillow, so I'm going to mix white, but you can use any color. I've tried red, I've tried phthalo blue, I've used black, I've used many colors, and they all work the same. The pillow ratio is 2 parts paint to 1 part original flow control. That's their big jug. I normally buy it in the 5 liter, and then I just decant it into a bottle like this. It just makes things easier, especially when you're mixing up small paints. But they also sell it in 1 liter and smaller containers, so whatever suits you. All right, so I normally start with the flow control. Let's do 1 part flow control, original flow control medium, by volume, not by weight, because the paints and the mediums and everything are different weights. So you want to work by volume. If you use 1 cup of flow control, you will use 2 cups of paint. If you use half a cup of flow control, you will use 1 cup of paint. Okay, so that is the pillow paint. Now to give it a good mix, try and mix your paints at least a day or 2 before, especially for the bloom technique, because the paints are a lot thicker than, say, with a Dutch pour. So you'll want the bubbles to release by themselves. So that's it. That's your consistency. I mean, I would mix it a little longer, but just for the sake of this video, it leaves a trace. It's a mound on a mound and disappears after a few seconds. And you will find that your paints thicken up over time, and if so, then you might want to add a few drops of water just to get them to the right consistency. Pillow, done. Simple. Now let's do a color. So Bastion has a range of, I don't know, around 20 colors, pre-mixed, gorgeous colors, all the popular ones. I usually buy them in liter containers though, or even 5 liters, and I like to mix up my own colors sometimes. A bit of a sucker for punishment. Okay, for the colors, it is a different ratio to the pillow. For the colors, you use 1 part paint to 1 part original flow control. So it's even easier. If I'm going to use tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, let's do 3 tablespoons of flow control, original flow control, then we're going to do 3 tablespoons of your color. So there we go, 3 tablespoons of your color to 3 tablespoons of flow control, or whatever you want to mix up. 1 cup, 1 cup, half a cup, half a cup. Obviously it's just 1 to 1. Again, make sure you give it a good mix. And that's it. That's what you get. This is phthalo green, by the way. One of my favorite colors. See the consistency? Pretty much the same as the pillow, but the pillow will be just that much thicker. All right, there's one color done. Okay, so your cell activator is 2 parts Cell Activator Flow Control to 1 part paint, and whatever color you choose your CA to be. So I need to mix up a white CA, so I'm going to use white, but you can use black, red, whatever color suits you, whatever color you want to try and experiment with. They all seem to work, although I have noticed that different colors give different results. You'll find that the black gives a slightly different result, but it's also totally amazing. It's quite uncanny, actually, the cells that you can get by experimenting. So don't be afraid to experiment. All right, we want 2 parts Cell Activator Flow Control. So I'm using a tablespoon again. You don't want to mix up too much CA at once because it does tend to thicken up over a couple of days, which is not a bad thing. I mean, it still works, and sometimes it can be even nicer because the thicker the CA is, the more stays on top of your design. So you'll see now when we first mix it up, it's going to be quite thin and watery. So it sinks very quickly into your colors. But as it thickens up, it stays more on the surface, and you can play and see what you like and what you enjoy or what you're in the mood for and change it up. I often do. I mean, you can even experiment with how much CAFC, Cell Activator Flow Control, how much of this to use. I've tried 1 to 1, I've tried 1.5 to 1, I've tried 2.5 to 1 part paint, and they all work in different ways and give you different results. So we have our 2 parts Cell Activator Flow Control, and now we've got our 1 part paint. Give it a good mix and you're done. In the beginning, it will feel quite runny, but like I say, it will thicken up after a day or two, and it will plateau at a certain thickness and not get any thicker, so you can see what you like. Being a fluid artist is all about experimentation. And don't be afraid to try different things. You could invent something brand new if you play. Okay, and that's the consistency. So there you have it. We have our CA, we have our colors, and we have our pillow. And that is the bloom technique. Now, if there's time and I haven't rambled on too long, I'll do a quick bloom for you. Otherwise, I'll do one in another video and you can see how it's done if you're not familiar with the technique. So there we have it. Thanks for watching and thanks for joining me. Please leave a comment. Did this help you? What else would you like to see? Are you struggling with something? If I can help, I certainly will. And please like the video, subscribe and all those good things because it really helps my channel out. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining.